All right, some breaking news coming in at this moment. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has reacted to Shiv Sena's opposition to the book launched by Khurshid Kasuri. A statement just released says, for all foreigners, diplomats or foreign dignitaries who are allowed on proper visa in our country, it is the responsibility of our government to provide them security. The Chief Minister said the program will be provided total security. However, Fadnavis has clarified that it does not mean that his government endorses all views expressed in the program, adding that no anti-India propaganda will be tolerated through any such program. If found so, the organizers will be held responsible. So this statement does not talk about the ink-throwing incident at all. It's just a brief statement which talks about providing security to foreign dignitaries who arrive on a valid visa. Sahil Joshi now joins us on the phone line. Sahil, it'll be interesting to know when this statement was actually released by Devendra Fadnavis. Was it after this paint-throwing incident?
This particular statement was released, it looks like that before the ink-throwing incidents, because I asked him in the morning that is there any reaction on the whole Kasuri event, because yesterday Sudhindra Kulkarni met with Uddhav Thackeray, requested him not to protest violently and forget his opposition regarding the whole program. But today in the morning, when the Chief Minister has released this particular statement, it clearly shows the statement itself is a very politically correct statement, because as the head of the state, the Chief Minister has clearly said that yes, they will be providing with the security, but he has also tried to clarify that it's not necessary that the government and the Chief Minister is in agreement with the views expressed during the book release program. So he has distanced himself from the whole program, but at the same time, as the Chief Minister of the state, he has clearly said that the proper security arrangements will be provided. Now, because Shiv Sena is also partner in the government, it's also allied with the BJP to form the government, and the BJP government is based on the Shiv Sena support. Chief Minister will also have to see to it that the Shiv Sena do not go beyond its brief, because finally the home portfolio is also the Chief Minister, and he himself will be responsible for any kind of cancellation of the program. Whether Sudhindra Kulkarni has already clarified that whatever happens, he is going to work with the program, not the way the Ghulam Ali organizers cowed down in front of Shiv Sena and decided to cancel Ghulam Ali's performance. So now it becomes wholly the government's responsibility to see to it that the program happens in whatever form it is. Now, more importantly, here the political problem for BJP is that they themselves have opposed any kind of relationship with Pakistan or giving them befitting reply when attacks on the border were happening. Now, Shiv Sena has taken a step forward always and tried to show that they are more forceful in their opposition to Pakistan than that of BJP. So he has also tried to clarify and given a clear instruction to the organizers that no anti-India remarks will be tolerated during Kasuri's book launch program. Now, here is one hitch, because in Delhi, as Sudhindra Kulkarni has told us, that in Delhi, Lal Krishna Advani himself attended Kasuri's book launch program, and now it becomes a catch-20 situation for BJP, because one side they are running the government, they are running the home portfolio, they have to look after the security. The Chief Minister has already said even before during Ghulam Ali's controversy that this kind of opposition is wrong, and government will take whole responsibility of arranging the security. So now we'll have to see that how the things unfold during the day, because the program is in the evening at 5:30.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Sahil. Let's quickly play out that interview of Mustafa with Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni, which we had recorded just a short while back.
We have with us Sudhindra Kulkarni of ORF. Sir, what happened, sir? What incident has taken place?
As soon as I got out of my building this morning, my home at King Circle in Mumbai, a group of Shiv Sainiks mobbed me, and they asked me to come out and get out of my car, and they smeared me with this black paint.
Sir, you had demanded for security previously also, but there was no security.
No, not security for myself, and I don't need any security for myself. It was security for Khurshid Kasuri Saab, who is our honored guest from Pakistan. We're going to have a function this evening, and the Shiv Sena had threatened to disrupt it if we didn't cancel it, and we are not going to cancel it. We are going to go ahead with it. So they shouted slogans and they said that we had ordered you to cancel it. They threatened me and all that, and they did this.
So this happened when you were get out of your house and you were getting inside the car?
No, I had already got inside the car. They asked me to come out of the car. I came out, and this is what they did.
Thank you. So this is Sudhindra Kulkarni who is saying that they'll go on with the function whatever takes place. With Raju Revankar, Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai for India Today.
All right, that was Mustafa's interview with Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni. Mustafa now joins us live. Mustafa, is there any police security that has been provided to Mr. Kulkarni himself? Because he's the organizer of the event, while there is security that is being provided to that event venue, as well as the dignitary, the foreign dignitary, Mr. Kasuri. What about the organizer?
See, basically, what seems to be the plan of Mumbai police since this morning was that Sudhindra Kulkarni was supposed to come at his office, ORF, in Nariman Point. There was some police presence at Nariman Point, but there was no single police personnel at Dadar where Sudhindra Kulkarni stays. So that advantage has taken by Shiv Sena. They knew Sudhindra Kulkarni will be alone at that point of time, and then they have basically smeared ink all over his face. Sudhindra Kulkarni then came all from Dadar to Nariman Point, which is a 5 kilometers distance. And here there is police presence at this point of time. The dignitary of ex-Foreign Minister of Pakistan will be coming here at some point of time, and there is a security at the venue also. At the same point of time, I would like to start from where Sahil stopped on the CM's statement. He said that the CM statement is politically correct, which is right, but somewhere saying that any anti-national thing will not be tolerated by the government is somewhere supporting the idea of Shiv Sena and of this violence which has been going on today. The state government seems to be supporting this program because this same book launch last week has happened in Delhi. Something which has happened in Delhi, how when it comes to Maharashtra becomes anti-national, is something which should be interpreted from what statement CM Devendra Fadnavis has given. At this point of time, the police is trying their level best to provide law and order security to all the dignitaries involved in this function, and the function till now is scheduled at 5:30 p.m. at Worli, and Sudhindra Kulkarni is saying that it will not be cancelled at any point of time.
Right.
At the same time, there is some process going on to register an FIR about the incident which has taken place.
Absolutely, Mustafa. Now, Mr. Malik, the Chief Minister's statement itself does not make much sense because it, number one, does not talk about this ink throwing incident at all. Number two, it talks about anti-national conversation will not be tolerated.
No, two things. One, the Chief Minister...
Is he trudging on the path of caution?
As far as I know, from what I gather, he made this statement in response to a question. It wasn't a formal statement, it was a throwaway line when the reporter asked him a question before the ink throwing incident. As far as I can make out.
Right, absolutely.
Now, obviously, it goes without saying that if there is something which is egregious and breaks the law in terms of hate speech at any event, the government is duty bound to act. But knowing Mr. Kasuri, who is a very seasoned politician and a fine person, I don't think there's going to be anything of that nature. It's going to be a discussion over a book release. So I don't think that is even in the realm of speculation. The Shiv Sena is obviously acting on its own to undermine the BJP and the Fadnavis government. I'm repeating here, emphasizing here, the Fadnavis government is on test. The Shiv Sena is acting very rationally, very carefully. This is not just some mad, impassioned protest. It is acting very rationally to make a political point, to cripple and make the Fadnavis government look weak.
Absolutely.
And to hijack its mandate.
Absolutely.
A mandate the Shiv Sena did not win. It got hammered in the 2014 election.
That's a point that you've been continuously making, that this is a Shiv Sena which is trying to exercise its political might at a time when it did not actually win the popular mandate in the Maharashtra elections.
And it's for Fadnavis to rescue his mandate.
Absolutely, because it is going to carry a very bad impression on Mr. Fadnavis's government and his governance. Let's go across to Dr. Priyam. Dr. Priyam, you have been listening to this entire discourse. You have said that, it's a blot, to say the least. But what really can be done to do damage control at this point? Because Shiv Sena, it so appears, though they first said that it's not still known whether they were the Shiv Senics who actually, this is an allegation, but if it actually gets proven that this is, in fact a case of Shiv Senics at play, then it's a huge blow. What really should the Fadnavis government be doing to do damage control?
See, I'm taking my analysis at two levels. One is the deeper level of a political analysis that I look at this, And look at the name that this party has, Shiv Sena. How different is it from somebody calling themselves a Ranveer Sena? So I think politically all these outfits, nobody can carry. I mean, India has one army, which at this point of time, Mr. Manohar Parrikar is the defense minister, there's the Prime Minister of India, the President of India is the Commander-in-Chief of all armed forces. Nobody else is a Sainik of any land or let alone idea of India. So let all of these Sainiks be disbanded, there be civilian rule in the country. And how can, a government come around to saying that we will give all highest protection to our dignitaries, which in this case are people who write books. The point is that people who write books need not be in a prison. The common citizen of this country needs to walk freely. People who have thoughts and ideas need to walk freely. It is those who are saying that we are this Sainik or that. God cannot have a Sainik to be protecting them. They need some kind of treatment from the state. They need to be escorted by policemen and taken where they need to, which is the prison of the land. So I would want to know who are these people who are doing this. I would want to know who are the people who are plotting this. I don't see these as isolated incidents, whether it be a Kalburgi or the attack on the rationalists on Pune. What are we attacking? We are attacking our own idea centers, our own education centers, and now somebody who's written a book, I couldn't care less whether it's been authored by somebody in the neighboring country who we think we don't like. I don't care about this, but this is about a book as far as I'm concerned. This is about an idea. There has to be some expression from the Indian state that freedom of expression as expressed as a fundamental right of the citizen is being upheld by the state of India. And this devolves specific responsibilities of those who've taken the charge and oath of the Constitution of India. My own compact with the state of India is because the state gives me these citizen rights. Let them be asserted by the state of India. Let them be asserted by a man who heads Maharashtra today.
It's a larger point, Dr. Priyam, that you're making.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a larger point that you're making about intolerance and also what is going to be the resilience. What is really going to be the, what the government is actually going to offer in terms of solace or comfort to people who want to express themselves. Will freedom of expression and speech be upheld in this country or not? Or will we have, as Rajdeep pointed out just a short while back, where he said that the Shiv Sainiks appear to be behaving like a loony fringe? Is that really going to be the assessment of political parties? Let's, Dr. Priyam as well as Mr. Ashok Malik, thank you very much for joining. I know you were supposed to join us on the Bihar coverage, but this completely took center stage.
Well, perhaps the Shiv Sena is trying to make things difficult for the BJP in Bihar. You can't rule that out.
Absolutely. Let's quickly play out a couple of reactions that we have at this moment on this particular story, and then we'll come right back.
I cannot find words strong enough to condemn this. I cannot find feelings strong enough to express. It is not a case of Kulkarni or Kasuri. It is a case of the liberal democratic ethos of India. The idea of India and the spirit of India, which has remained the most liberal democratic despite all our neighbors having gone the other way. That is being destroyed at the root. It is directly linked to the last 15 months. It has a clear connection with the party in power, with the remote control in Nagpur, and we must all rise above politics to put an immediate stop to it.
I do not agree with what Shiv Sena has been doing. It is highly deplorable. Shiv Sena, being an organization, should not resort to such politics which is not in line with our stated position by the Constitution, because it shows the intolerance on the part of Shiv Sena, and it shows how Shiv Sena is against any effort to build good neighborly relations with Pakistan.
Let's listen in to a couple of other reactions that we actually got to the story.
Well, you know, there is a choice. Either you stand up to intimidation or you buckle in. I get the feeling that those who are going to attend today's function are prepared to stand up to this kind of Philistine onslaught of some people. We all know why they're doing it. They want publicity on the eve of important local elections in Maharashtra. There are tensions between the Sena and the BJP. And this kind of, in-house feuds are being played out in public. And they're obviously choosing what they believe are soft targets. I mean, to say no to a concert of Ghulam Ali, to say no to a book launch by a former foreign minister of these are not well thought out schemes. This is an act of intimidation. They feel they can get away with it. And we'll just have to hope now that the police in Mumbai, who are perfectly aware of the nature of these intimidations, take all precautions to ensure that the function today goes off without any kind of untoward incident.
Let me clarify. See, we had specifically given a letter and we were going to make demonstrations there, like what was done at JNPT yesterday when the Prime Minister was there. So now what the specific incidents about which we are talking, unless and until police doesn't make it clear who has done this, how can you go to conclusions just because Mr. Kulkarni has said accordingly? I condemn this reaction, but I would like to also add, if you have got that much capacity to listen to me for 2 sentences, that the External Affairs Minister of Pakistan, they want to glorify him and they want to circulate his views everywhere in Delhi, Mumbai. This tendency is also actually putting salt on the injuries of the many nationalist people, and especially the families who have lost lives of their family members in the war. So, there are many differences of opinion, but on top of it, government had given him protection. So that was up to the police department to give him protection. So what has happened to that needs to be investigated.